back to another episode of You, Me, and a Cup of Tea. I'm sitting down with another educated black woman, Tatiyana Blood. Thank you for coming on the show. So Tatiana and I have known each other for a few years now, and the growth I've seen with you is absolutely incredible.
Same.
Yeah, I'm really excited to have her on the show. So before we let her introduce herself, shout out to Herbal Health 360. We're drinking the Vitality today, and we're going to enjoy the tea. And yeah, let's let Tati let you know who she is.
Okay, my name is Tatiyana Blood. I am the Vice President of Duke Deuce Enterprises. I manage rap artist Duke Deuce, and I'm also the CEO of Tainted by Tati, which is a lip cosmetic company.
Okay, my girl is opening up a lip company. Oh my God. And she's also the Vice President of Duke Deuce Enterprises and so much more. Everyone knows you as Duke's, girl or manager, but you have so much more to you.
Yes.
Like, she is an educated woman. She's been to school for law, and so many other things. So
yeah.
I'm so proud of you. I'm just happy to see like where you're at right now, and I know where you're about to be. So that's beautiful. So with your law degree, are you an attorney?
So about that. So I recently dropped out of law school. I figured like I was just so bored with class. I was so bored, and like if you know me, that's like unheard of because like I'm super smart, always like trying to get a degree or some degree of some sort. Like I have 2 bachelors, I have a master's. So I was like, this is not serving me. I really don't like doing this. I'm not happy with it. And I feel like because my family wanted me to become a lawyer, I kind of went on that path. But that's not the path I wanted to go on.
Right.
So now I just got accepted into USM for my PhD program in human capital development. So it falls under the tier of like talent management, human resources, and all that. Everything
that's
that I'm
amazing.
doing now.
Everything that you're doing now. That's amazing. I love that. Do you feel like, because, I feel like for me, I didn't really have any other dreams besides like being a nurse, like my education, like my degree. Do you feel like now, like, being like with Duke and managing him and being with, like, when you met him, do you feel like that's where you decided like I want more than just my degrees, my education? Like,
it's like I got 2 answers to that question because I feel like one, I've always lived like a very serious lifestyle. Like everything has been so like black and white for me. Go to school, marry a doctor, marry a lawyer type of thing. Have the white picket fence and stuff. So like I grew up having that or knowing to do that. But once I met him, he was like a burst of energy, like fun. He's very like free, doesn't care what people think about him. So he's always kind of just like chill. But he also works and get stuff done. So I'm like, I can do both too. Like I can have fun and get stuff done too. So yes, in that aspect, yes, I did meet him and say like, this is it. Like I should do this. But at the same time, I would say no, because I always said to my stepmom says all the time, I always say I'm gonna be rich. I'm gonna have a rich husband. I'm gonna be rich. I don't know how I'm gonna be rich, but I'm gonna be rich. I'm gonna have a maid. I'm gonna have a cook, and I'm like, I really have a nanny, and I can pay somebody to clean my house now. And like,
that is goals.
My man is
like,
rich.
That's goals. Like that is goals. Like I feel like all women, not everybody, all women really want to be able to have someone that can come in and take care of the household.
Yes.
So we can do other shit.
Yes. Yes.
So that is amazing because you really you live in this life, girl.
Yeah.
Like, damn.
That's crazy,
You know
right?
what I'm saying? Like, no, look, like y'all don't understand. Like Tati and I have known each other for like over 5 years, and like when we met, like we were in totally different situations. Like
totally different situations.
Yeah, totally different. Like I didn't know what was going on. We were just kind of living life at the moment, and
clubbing every day.
Yeah, literally, like big play. What? But anyway, if you know, you know. But so it's just like crazy to see like where she's at now and just like where we all are in general, because like the growth is real. The growth is real. So yeah, it's something. But yeah, I feel like for me, like, when I got with James, like I had I was gonna be a nurse and that was gonna be it.
Yeah.
Like I didn't think about a talk show. I didn't think about, a business. I didn't think about anything else. I was like, okay, I'm gonna be a nurse. I'm gonna make good money and that's gonna be like.
Right.
And then it's like we got together and he had a dream. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He had a dream. He had a vision, and I was like, damn, like, I want a dream and a vision too.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? I want more, and so here's to more.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
And I think we're kind of both doing the same thing at the
Yeah.
same time. Like, you know, you and James have, you know, this talk show, and you guys have something together, and you're working together, and Duke and I have a business together and work together.
Right.
So that's good to see, because we both came a long way.
Yeah, we have come a long way.
A long way.
How do you feel like it is working together? Because I know, you know, every day is not easy with us working together as well.
Yeah. I mean, you're gonna have your days, but I feel like if I wasn't working with him, I would still have my days with whoever.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, he's technically my boss, right? I work for him,
right.
technically. So if I like went to a 9 to 5, I would still have a boss. I would still be mad at something they said or something they did. They would still piss me off. The only difference is I gotta lay beside you at night too. One thing I can say about Duke though is he knows how to separate the two. I didn't know so well at first how to do that, and he did. He's taught me how to separate the two.
Right.
Because I used to just get mad and be mad the rest of the day, and like go to sleep, turn my back, like or whatever. Right. But now it's like, okay, look, we're not working right now. We're at home. Like that's work. We're together. I love you. Good night. You know. So it's got better. It's progressed as time has went by. But we're working together for like about 3 years now.
Yeah.
So
that's amazing.
It's had some ups and downs for sure. Some days where I literally quit. I sent a resignation letter like every couple weeks.
No, stop it.
I did.
You typed it up and everything?
Yeah, and emailed it to him and everything.
Stop. Girl, stop. Let's talk about why you chose Atlanta. Like, you know, when we knew each other, we were on the coast. You know, what was the reason why you chose Atlanta at that time in your life?
I feel like at the time I was dating somebody who was not a bad person, but just wasn't the right person for me. And so I knew that. And so like one day I was like, you know what? I went to him and I said, you know, I think I went to him like December like 1st, and I said, hey, January 1st. No, I went to him January 1st, and I said February 1st, I'm gonna be moved to Atlanta, and I'm gonna have a job by then, and you can have everything in here, but I'm gonna leave. And he was like, oh, whatever, you ain't going nowhere, like that. And so like I went to Atlanta that week, the next week, I found a job, and then I was like, can I start February 2nd? And I was like, yeah. And so I did. And so I moved February 1st to Atlanta, and I started my job February 2nd. And I came to Atlanta. It was closer to my family.
Right.
Being in New Orleans was like 9 hours from Alabama at the time, Birmingham. And so now Atlanta's like 2 hours away. And so I'm closer to them. And then also I was out there by myself. I didn't have anybody close to me that was like, aside from, you know, you guys and my friends, but I didn't have any family out there. So just trying to get away from that, put that in the past behind me, and just kind of start fresh somewhere else. And so, I mean, it all worked out, right?
It did. It really did.
It all worked out. It all worked out.
Like, I mean, like, you are really killing it. I'm like, dang, my girl you're about to open up your own company, your own management company. So, what does that look like right now for you?
So, actually, the management, so what I've done is, I had this idea always, even when I wanted to be an attorney. I always wanted to have, like, this one-stop shop where it was like a facility full of women that did everything. And so being in the entertainment industry, like entertainers need everything. They need nannies and cleaning companies and talent managers and financial advisors and all these different aspects, PR and stuff. So my friend had a friend who did marketing. She had a friend who did PR. And then I was like, okay, I know a friend that has a cleaning service, and I have a friend that has this and this. And so we're like, let's just come together and do something. And so we do. So it's called After Hours. It's OURS, After Hours. And so yeah, it's already started. We just signed Duke to us now. We have some other artists, Sunny Surf, who comes out of New Jersey, Tatiyana, some other artists that have come in, and entertainers like NFL players and stuff that have come in to our company now. So it's gonna be fun.
So dope.
I cannot wait till next year.
Yes. That is so
wait.
amazing. That is so amazing, like for real. So basically, it's gonna be a one-stop shop.
One-stop shop. You
for
can
everything you need.
Everything you need.
Whether it's for the music industry, production, film, you gonna have everything that you need.
Yep. Sports, everything.
You hit us up.
We got you.
We got you.
Yep, we got you.
I love it.
Yep.
I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
I'm so proud of you, girl. And then, like, so she's about to drop her lip line too.
Yes.
So tell them about the lip line.
Tainted by Tati. So Tainted by Tati, comes out February 1st,
Okay.
2023. Which is like the day anniversary I moved to Atlanta.
That's crazy.
Right.
That's crazy.
Almost 4 years ago now. So yeah, so it's drops then. I always had this like thing where I would always put like these lip combos together when I do my makeup, and my friends just always be like, what do you have on right now? And I'd be like, oh, this is blah blah lip liner and this, and they'll go by and like, I'm not doing it right. How do you do it? And so I was like, I thought about doing a lip line a while ago, but two of my friends, Jessica and Paige, really pushed me and was like, you should do this lip line. Like, it's for you. Do it. And I kind of like fell back on it for a minute. They were like, bitch, do it. Yes, get it. Like, go get it. So I'm like, okay, cool. So, and then Duke was like, do something. Like, you need something of your own too. Like, go ahead and do that. And I'm like, okay. So, hey, like, I was making money managing, and then, I had investments and stuff come in. So I'm like, okay, well, here we go. Let's do it. So, hey, I'm excited. I'm super excited.
I'm so excited for you.
Damn,
look at what life has been for you.
I cannot wait.
Like, what has the transition been like from, your standard like law that you were working with, because you worked as a paralegal.
Correct.
What has that transition been like working on the music industry side of things?
I think it's been beneficial because for the most part, in any type of law, you have to read paperwork, know contracts, and know language and how people can persuade things through, text or through writing or whatever. So, yeah, I think knowing the background, also my law background, too, of going to law school and actually going through contracts and going through those classes and understanding those things have really taught me how to, like, look for those things in my artists. Because all it is just really mainly contracts.
Right.
Everything else you can figure out.
And wording.
If you know the wording and you can figure out, and you can know contracts and know wording, you're good. But everything else you can just kind of, like, figure out as you go. You don't have to be so knowledgeable in everything because everything changes all the time.
Right.
In music, or entertainment in general.
Awesome.
Yep.
Wow. I feel like everything happens to place you where you're supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? So even though you may not have finished school, that laid the foundation for you to be able, when you met Duke, be able to I have knowledge about this, put myself in play on that. So.
Yep, it's dope. It's dope. It's dope how everything intertwines,
Yeah.
But I feel like God allows everything to happen for a reason, and I'm very grateful for that.
I know you're grateful for him too.
I am grateful.
Yeah.
Yes. It's been crazy.
I can't stop smiling because I'm like, we're in a new place.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? We're in a new place. Like, re-seeing each other again. Like, we haven't seen each other in years.
Yeah, it's been like 3.5 years, 4 years. Yeah, it's been a minute.
And damn,
we
done bossed up.
Yeah, right.
We bossed up for
High five to that one.
We really have. We did that.
Yeah,
this is some dope shit for
real.
All right. And the tea is good too. The tea is really good. Like, I'm just like, dang girl, you did that.
Yeah.
So, but let's talk about what has been one of your most vulnerable moments that you've had, like, since you moved out here, or just in life in general, that you feel like was sent to destroy you, but instead you like fought through it and you overcame.
Ooh, let me see.
That's a good one.
Yeah. No, I know, but it's like a few. But I could say like one in particular. Like, okay, so when I moved out to Atlanta, that was my first. Well, I moved out here with my godparents at first, and so that was a challenge in itself because I'm a young girl, like. A young pretty girl. A young pretty girl out in Atlanta, and with no man. I'm freshly single.
Yeah.
And like my godparents are like, don't stay out too late, and don't da da da. And let's keep in mind that I'm like over 23, 24. I'm like 25. So it's like you can't tell me what to do, right? But it was their house, their rules, so I understood. Trying to be respectful. So I got my own place, and just nobody talks about the adulthood. I wasn't taught to save your money, pay these bills, do this, do that. And so I found myself struggling when I first moved in by myself. Like, after the first few months, I'm like, okay, yeah, he gonna rent, blah, blah, blah. After, I'm like, dang, $1,300 is a lot of money coming out of my check. Like, I mean, I had a good job, worked at Morgan & Morgan, but Morgan & Morgan was paying me $1 million. You know, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I'm just like, it was a struggle of just having to know how to feed myself and just fending for myself for every single thing,
and so not having no one else to really rely on besides having a, they put a roof over your head for a little minute.
Right, and so I'm so used to like, I can still call my daddy right now. He gonna come through for me. But I didn't want to have to call my dad. Yeah. I didn't want him to feel like, you can't do this, just come back home. You know, I didn't want to be like, I don't want to go to Mississippi. I want to stay here.
You had something to prove.
I had something to prove. Yeah, so I remember sitting like on my floor in my apartment, and I was just crying, like crying. And I did not eat. I didn't do anything. I wouldn't go anywhere. I wouldn't do anything, like, at all. And I was just, like, so depressed. And I was like, but I got to pay my bills. So I would just, like, spend all my money, just pay bills, and be at home just crying. I remember calling my stepmom one day, and I was just like, I think I'm going to move back home. Can I come back home? She was like, yeah, you can. And then she was like, you can. And I remember her saying, like, but do you want to? Do you really need to come home? Or can you just manage your stuff better? Should you get a second job and just figure it out? And I'm like, a second job? When I'm yeah. She's like, well, you don't go anywhere right now anyway. I'm like, well, I don't go nowhere right now anyway. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to do that. So I got a second job for like 3 or 4 months. And I just stacked my money up. And after that, I just learned how to just like balance everything out. But that was like rough. That was so rough. Like, oh my God, that was so bad. Like
being alone.
Yes. Being alone by myself, not having anybody out there. So I lived in
family Duluth, 2 hours away.
Yeah, family 2 hours away. Nobody's visiting me. Nobody's visiting me. Eating $5 Little Caesars pizza every day because you don't want to spend. Yeah, because you don't want to spend over a certain amount of money on food a day. But you also like don't want to go buy groceries because you might not cook it, so then it goes to waste. And it's just like,
dang, but you did it. Like a lot of people sink or swim out here. Yeah, and you swam.
They said I heard this thing. My god sister. Shaquita, who lives out here, she's a well-known actress and stuff out here. Yeah. She's on NCIS and all these different things. But she was telling me, she's like, you can just get through it the first year, you'll be okay. If you can pass the first year test, you can stay in Atlanta.
Yeah, you done.
So I was like, okay, I'm gonna try to stay the first year. Like, I'm gonna try to, because I was ready to go back to New Orleans. I was back to New Orleans. I was like, I'm going back to New Orleans. Like, I'm about to go back. The cost of living, like, I had a nice apartment on the lake for like $800.
What?
Yes. Well, it was in Slidell, like right off of the lake. So I mean, like, and I was right there by the bridge, so I was easy at little trip to New Orleans. I'm like, I'm moving back to Louisiana. Like, it's cheaper over there, and I got a lake view, and I got a dock in my backyard.
It's right here. I can
go
fish.
A
box here.
I got a box. I don't think I even had granite tops. Like, I didn't even have granite tops. $1,300. I'm like, what the hell?
What is this?
Right. I was
probably one bathroom.
One bedroom. Living room bigger than the bedroom.
That's so sad.
It's so sad.
But you gotta start somewhere.
Right.
Like, you gotta start somewhere. Right. What would be your advice to anyone like in that moment that's living in that moment right now? Yeah. What's your advice to them?
Don't give up on yourself. Cause like I could have easily given up on myself, but just don't, like, my godmom speaking that into me, like, and my stepmom saying, like, you know, just believe in yourself, like, do something else for yourself, like, that in itself did it for me. So I would just say, like, literally do not give up on you. Like, nobody's gonna take care of you like you take care of you.
Okay.
So,
and won't.
No, they won't.
And my girl came out on top.
Okay.
All right.
This tea is really good.
Thank you.
It's really, really good.
I'm gonna send you home with the pouch.
I get 2.
It's that good. It's that good. It's that good. Okay, let's talk about life with Duke Deuce, okay?
Okay.
You're the vice president of Duke Deuce Enterprises, and you're also his girlfriend.
Yeah.
What aligned y'all to connect and be together? Like, how did y'all meet?
Okay, so I was working at Morgan & Morgan, like I said, and I was downtown, and I had, I wanted, like, my boss, I remember that day, it was like a long day, and my boss was like, are you hungry? Have you eaten yet? And I was like, no. He was like, here goes my card. Go take whoever you want to take with you. So I was like, take my little work buddies with me. Like, you know, one girl I went to college with, I'm like,
come on, we got the car, let's go.
You come with me, like, let's go get some food or whatever. Like, we can eat good, let's go. So I wanted to go to, like, this Chinese restaurant. I can't remember the name of it. It's on Peachtree. But I wanted to go there, but they were closed. And so the next best thing on that street that was, like, closed, it was, like, super, like, hot outside that day, it was Gus Fried Chicken. And so Gus Fried Chicken is, like, a Memphis-known, like, fried chicken place, like, hot chicken. And so I went in there and I was at the bar getting ready to order my food. And I was actually dating this guy or whatever. And I was texting him, arguing with him. Like, we kind of just like getting to know each other. We were arguing and texting messages. So I didn't notice anybody physically, but I smelled something. I'm like, somebody smells really good. And my friend was like, it's them guys right there. She's like, you don't hear them talking? They got to be from like New Orleans or Memphis or something. I'm like, so I'm listening. I'm like, they're not from New Orleans. Like, I can hear them. I'm like, they're not from New Orleans. And I was like, she's like, can you ask him for me? Because she wanted to talk to his manager. And I'm like, ask him what? And she's like, you're not scared. You ask them where they from. I'm like, where y'all from? Like, literally, like, where y'all from? Like,
that's
they hear us
that's
now.
I'm
like, yeah, they hear us now. Like, you might as well just tell, like, where y'all from? And he was like, well, his friend was like, from Memphis. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. Back to my phone, I go.
Right.
And so I remember seeing Duke, like, walk behind us and go to the restroom. But, you know, you tell somebody looking at you, or, like, somebody behind you?
Yeah, you can
so
feel it,
like, what is he doing? Or whatever. I found out he was looking at our butts, but he realized I didn't have a butt, and the girl beside me did. So I'm like, oh, okay, that's what he doing. I'm like,
okay.
I know now. He told me now. But anyway, so he came back from the bathroom and he was just talking to me. I was typing away like still, and he grabbed my phone and was like, "Can I get your number?" I'm like, "Well, you didn't."
Well, you done right.
Sure.
He took it out the hand.
Yeah, like sure. So I remember his manager saying like, he signed the QC. You don't see his chain, like, and I'm like, okay, like. Okay.
Right, like, okay.
What did that mean? I came from, like, New Orleans area, and I lived in Birmingham, so QC didn't resonate with me at the time.
Like, what is that?
Yeah, like, what is it? Like, I've heard of it, but, like, what does that mean? Is that something, like, really big? Like, what is it? And he's like, he rap. I'm like, everybody in Atlanta rap. Everybody in Atlanta rap. I'm like, okay. So, yeah, we met like that. So, he got my number that day. He invited me to a party. I did not go. And a couple weeks later, we ended up meeting up and going on a date. Because I was like, well, we got to go on a date first. I'm not finna just, like, meet up with you. Like, let's go out to eat or something.
With other people and...
Yeah. Like, so we went on a double date. And it was all right. We didn't like each other after it.
What?
Yeah.
Well, then
during the date, we didn't like each other. I think after we did. Like,
how did y'all end up where y'all at now, then?
So, like, during the date, he felt like I was talking to my friends. Like, his friend... and my friend had both went to college, and I knew them both from college and didn't realize this. I didn't know him. I know I knew him too. So we ended up like all talking about people we knew, and he was kind of like left out. He didn't go to college, so he kind of felt left out. Like, oh, she talking to him, she ain't talking to me. And then so I just felt like he wasn't talking. So like I'm like, what am I? I'm not on date with him. What are you doing? So I started ordering drinks and food for myself, and then I got ready to pay for my food, and he was like, no, I got your food. And I was like, oh, okay, well, thanks. Like, cause it didn't feel like we were on a date, you know? Yeah. So I'm like, I'll pay for my own stuff. He was like, no, it's okay. You pay for my food. And he walked me to my car, which was like a block away, which that's kind of like what made me be like, I'll go on another date with him. That was nice of him. So,
at least he took
did
me to my car.
Right, exactly. So I was like, I appreciate that. And then, so like a few weeks later, we went on a couple more dates and stuff like that and hung out. And then, we started dating and eventually
started
liking
each
other. And then eventually, like, every day seeing you. Then eventually, like, hey, you move in with me. And, so then it went from there. Yep. Yeah.
Would you say, like, hands down, you definitely in the situation you meant to be?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. And we talked about that. We talked about it last night, actually, because I was telling him, I was like, I thank him a lot. Because I feel like with him, I've grown so much. Like, it's been very hard times, very dark times. But at the same time, like, I feel like I wouldn't know my purpose if I didn't meet him at some point. And so, same thing with him. He was like, I'm glad I have somebody like you in my corner, too. Because I didn't know how to do all of this.
Right.
Like, I just knew how to rap. I wouldn't
be as, where we are now.
Exactly. So, like, all, like, the business deals and stuff that we're doing and stuff like that, he was like, I didn't, like... of course, like, I knew I could do it, but I just didn't know, like, it could really happen like this for me. So, like, we're able to, like, help each other and bounce off each other and help each other, like, in our purpose. And so that makes
it takes, like, a powerful person to, like, really be in your life and do that because I feel like, like, with James, like, I really feel like, that's my purpose. Like, that's my person. That's my purpose. Like, like I said, I would have never imagined any of this stuff for myself, and like for real, like just like.
Let me tell you how I met her, y'all.
Yeah. Look, we're gonna save that for another day. Look, we're gonna save that for another day, but like it's real. Like when you have someone that's like in your corner, like feeding into the purpose that you're like, the point of your life that you're in. Like, it just makes, like, a big difference. And it's, like, all of the bullshit you went through, all of the, other people don't even matter.
Yeah. It doesn't matter.
Don't even.
Yeah, I don't even think about all that, and I appreciate them too.
Right.
Because I feel like
I wouldn't know how to appreciate what I have now. And the other thing is too, you said like you feel like he's grown you. Like I feel like too, like when you met me, I was very, I wasn't childish, but we
all were very.
Yeah, we had different ways, of thinking. It just
I was still fighting
different. Yeah,
I was still fighting people at the club.
I
was.
Y'all,
I mean, I'll still get down if I need to. But
y'all, James laughing behind the camera. I get it, because he know this girl wild, like for real.
They know.
Look, she gonna put them hands down if she have to, but
we're CEOs.
Yeah,
now,
we go,
and mom,
right,
and all that. So
right,
we're evolved.
Yes. So we have to do better.
Evolved.
We have to be better and do better.
We're evolved.
How is it being a mom? Let's talk about that.
So Duke has a daughter, Ocean, and so when I met Ocean, she was 3 turning 4. And so I remember the first time he told me she was coming for Christmas, and so I helped him. Like, he had just got this like nice house. He had got like this 3-story, like 8-bedroom house, and he was like, I want to decorate her room. I want it to be cute. And so I went and bought all this stuff. She was into Frozen at the time, so I went and got all this Frozen stuff. And his sister and I and some family members, we decorated the room and stuff for her. And I remember him just being so happy that she was coming. And so, like, me, just like, at the time, we're like dating and talking and still getting to know each other. I still had my own place at the time. And so I got ready to leave. I'm like, oh, your daughter's coming. Okay, I'm about to go. He never said leave. I just took it upon myself, let them spend time together, right? So I'm packing my stuff to leave. And he's like, where you going? I'm like, I'm going to go into my apartment. Your daughter's coming to town. And he was like, you don't got to leave. And I'm like, but your daughter's coming to town. And he was like, no, I want you to meet her. And I'm like, okay. So I remember she walked in, and she's very territorial about her dad even now. And so I remember she walked in and she looked and she was like, like, kind of she did you earlier when she walked in? She was like,
who is you? I don't know you.
She was like, kind of like this. And so I was awkward. I was like, kind of like going around her and stuff, like not trying to make eye contact and talk to her. And Duke was like, why are you being awkward? And I was like, well, she's
eyeing me down. Like, she's staring me down. Like,
she's eyeing me. But fast forward, she's been living with us since she never left. She stayed the whole time. So, it's been challenging because like I'm learning to be a mom, and then I feel like me and my mom like we're close, but we didn't have the best relationship growing up. So I tried to make sure that like I listen to her, I talk to her, we go get our nails done together. I get her, I make sure I let her know to keep yourself up, like get your hair done,
right?
All this. I want her to feel beautiful on the inside. I want her to actually like give it off to the world too, like still remain classy and sweet when you're out and all that. So it's been a little challenging trying to be a stepmom because her mom is in her life. So it's like it's a little challenging trying to make sure that I don't interfere with what's going on with that and knowing my boundaries. And knowing my boundaries. So a lot of times like I call my friend and be like, I don't know if I did the right thing today. Like you're doing good. And I call my other mom friend, am I doing? And some of my other mom friends will tell me like hey, there might be an overstep of boundaries, so back up a little bit. So I'm glad I have friends who like clap for me, but also tell me like, hold me accountable,
and also let you know like, you shouldn't do that.
Yeah, that's blurring the lines.
That's the real friends.
Yep.
That's the real friends.
But shout out to Ocean.
Yay! And I bet you're an amazing person in her life. So I'm so excited that you have like that relationship because it's needed. Like what I'm saying, having a little boy now, like being that mom, like. It's a feeling like no other. Like nobody can give you that type of love. Yeah. Like what I'm saying? And also we talked about this off camera, patience. Learning that you have so much more patience than you ever thought you had.
I never thought I had patience. Like now I'm just like, oh shit. You know what? Whatever. I don't care.
You know what? Yeah.
Last night Duke was like, it was like 11:30, and he was like, I want ice cream. I'm gonna get ice cream. And I was like, Ocean. And I yelled her name, and she was like, yes, ma'am. I'm like, she's still up. Get us some ice cream, too. And he was like, she has school tomorrow. And I'm like, so? She still go to school?
And she up.
Yeah, and she up. We might as well get ice cream for her, too. Like, he was like, wait, you want to get her ice cream? I'm like, I'm more the disciplinary. Like, I'm more of, like, the strict, like, You have
so he's like,
bedtime.
okay, you gonna
He's
do
like,
it,
what's
then.
wrong with you? Like, you good today? You all right? I'm like, yeah, I'm good. I'm fine. But even on the way here, like, she said something to me on the way here. I said something to her about a baby, and she said, well, you have me. And I was like, and that's good enough. I'm okay with that.
That's good enough.
That's good enough. I'm okay with that. So,
no other babies right now.
Right. Ocean said no.
Oh, Ocean said no?
Well, she wants a sister, but I was telling her, like, about me and her dad having a baby. I was like, and she's like, well, if you don't, like, you know, you have me. You got me. It's okay. Yeah, she literally was like, it's okay. You got me. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah,
you're right.
I'm okay with that.
You're
I'm okay
right.
with that.
Yeah, I'm okay
that
with
is
that.
so sweet. I'm so glad that you have that. I'm
Thank
just happy.
you.
I'm just happy to see you happy in
Thank
general.
You.
Like,
thank you. I appreciate it.
It's radiating, girl.
Thanks, girl.
It's radiating. It's radiating. Okay, so enough about being a mom. How do you handle females coming at Duke?
I mean, like, okay. So I will say, like, at first, getting into it, like, I didn't understand, right? At first. I never really came at him, like, real hard about a female, but I didn't understand. I was like, I'm gonna beat this girl up. I'm gonna fight this girl. I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. But, like, being, like, growing, I said after, like, 6 months to a year growing and knowing, like, this is his industry, especially, like, managing him now, this is, like, our business.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care. Like, I be at the club with him, like, I'm, like, passing out shots to girls, invite them to the section, take a picture with them, like, do this, do that, like, Duke, go get on her phone, like, I'm thinking about the business aspect of it, because I feel like every fan, every interaction is another stream, which is more money, which is consistency, which is, like, you know, being relevant, staying relevant, it's growth for us as a whole, as a couple, and as a, like, you know, business. So now, I mean, I look at it as like it's our business. Like I don't really care about that. Like it is what it is.
I don't give a damn.
I don't give a damn.
They ain't me.
They ain't me. They ain't me. They can't do what I do. None of that. Like you know, so it is what it is. Like I appreciate the female fan base a lot. And yeah, I mean, it doesn't really bother me anymore.
Right. Yeah, and I think it takes like a level of growth. Like for me, like
sure.
I feel like I'm the same way. Like people be like, oh, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, does it bother you when he takes certain pictures, you know, of women, or like, you know, some females don't like when they man like pictures on Instagram, and it's like, this is art to him. Like, you know what I'm saying? All he see is art. He don't see, you know, like, he don't sexualize that, you know what I'm saying? He's about his business. Like, if he sees somebody that has the image that he's looking for, go for that shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because damn, these females look good. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like they look good too. You know what I'm saying? And when you with a person and you're confident in who they are, and you know what
and
y'all have,
and yourself too,
and yourself. Yourself is a big thing.
It's a big thing.
And you know what y'all have going on. You don't need confirmation from no one else. And outside sources don't bother you
at all. I promise you. I used to have this one person who, I'm so glad we're not friends, but it's one person who used to always just like, oh, I seen this girl at the studio with him, or I seen this going on, that going on, or I seen a whole bunch of people here. Okay.
And trying to give you that energy, like.
Okay. Like, I'm, okay. What you want me to say? Like, what I'm supposed to say? He's supposed to be at the studio. Girls are going to be around. Girls are going to be at these places. Like, I remember, I had one of my friends, a friend of mine who's in a production company, and it's this video we're going to shoot for Duke, and she was like, I really want to, like, get some, like, you know, I want to be sexualized, and I'm just going to get, like, a cake made with titties. He can just smash that in his face. I'm like, why not you get real titties? And then she was like, you okay with that? And I'm like, yeah, that's going to sell better.
Right.
And she was like, okay, I didn't think you could be okay with that. I was like, why wouldn't I be? Like, I told one of his, like, you know, label mates, a girl he did a song with, Gloss Up. I was like, I told her we were there practicing for, like, one of the concerts they had in Memphis. And I said, dance on him, like, twerk on him. Like, y'all interact for the song. The song is sexual. Right. And she was like, you okay with that? Because I'm ready to beat somebody. I'm like, girl, I promise I'm really okay with it. Like, please,
it takes so much self-confidence and just knowing, like, this is business. Like, you know what I'm saying? And they ain't you. Yep. Period. Exactly. And when you know that, nothing else matters.
Nothing else matters.
That's it.
Yep.
Hey, girl, this has been so
growth.
good. That is growth. One more thing before we go.
Yes.
What do you feel like, how do you feel now that you see what your life is versus what you've envisioned for it? Is it more than you've ever expected in life?
Like I said,
or is it shocking that it's just happening so fast?
I think it's shocking on how it's happening.
Yeah.
Not that it's happening, but how it's happening.
Yeah.
Because I always said, like, I'm going to be in a place where I'm, like, you know, happy and I'm rich and I'm wealthy. Like, and when I say, I mean rich, like, not even, like, financially rich, like, rich in happiness and,
rich
like, everything, faith and
everything
else.
Going well.
Like, everything is going good. And I have more days where I'm saying, like, I'm grateful that I'm saying, like, oh, I'm having a bad day.
Okay.
You know, I find myself, even when I am having a bad day, still saying, like, oh, I'm good.
Damn, I'm grateful
having a great day. I'm having a grateful
right.
day. Yeah. Like, I remember a couple weeks ago, like last week, Duke walked outside, and he was, like, outside it was cold. I'm like, where's he at? Why are you outside? But I'm like, maybe he in his car listening to me. Sometimes he'll do that or whatever, clear his mind or whatever. I'm like, we didn't argue. So I'm like, what's going on with him? And he came back in, and he was like, I was just outside looking at our neighborhood, and I was just like, dang, like, we live here. Like, this is really good. And I'm like, dang, I never even thought about it like that. And that made me see him differently too. I'm like, you know, he was like, I just really was outside just thanking God for, like, what we had. Like, this is good. And I'm like, yeah, it is. Like, this is really good. Like, you know, it made me like, dang, I really don't be grateful for some stuff. So I'm like,
a lot of people want to be,
a
lot of people want to be here at this point, and we'll never see this point. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, blessings.
Yep.
Blessings. Oh my God, I love this girl. Like, I love her so much.
I love you too.
Thank you so much for coming. I'm so proud of you. Like, I just can't wait to see what the next, like, six months.
Yeah.
Like, I want to see what 6 months look like for you, because I know that it's going to be incredible.
Yep. I can't wait to
doing this. Thank you.
Thanks, girl.
Yes. Thank y'all for joining You, Me, and a Cup of Tea. Make sure y'all subscribe, like, and comment. And y'all let them know where they can reach out to you with your management company and Tainted by Tati.
Yes, so my Tainted by Tati company is Tainted by Tati on Instagram, and then on Instagram for myself and personal page is Tatiyana Blood, so at Tatiyana Blood for everything.
Yay! Yep. Y'all make sure y'all follow her, connect with her, and we'll see y'all in the next episode.
Go get some tea. Go get some tea.